Ever wonder how one single event could flip an entire country upside down and change the world forever? That's exactly what the French Revolution did. It was more than just a war. It was a total reset of a nation's soul, kicking off in 1789 and raging for a decade. It didn't just end France's monarchy. It challenged everything people thought they knew about power, society, and human rights. The echoes of this revolution still shape our world today, inspiring democratic movements far and wide. So, what lit the fuse on this historical powder keg? Let's rewind and see what France looked like right before it all went down. Picture this: pre-revolutionary France, ruled by King Louis XVI. He was an absolute monarch, meaning his word was law. The people, they had virtually no say in how their country was run. French society was split into three groups, known as the Three Estates. Think of it like a pyramid. At the very top, you had the first estate, the clergy. Right below them, the second estate, the nobility, and at the massive base of the pyramid, the third estate. This was everyone else: peasants, city workers, doctors, lawyers, merchants. They made up a staggering 97% of the entire population. Now, here's where it gets really unfair. The third estate, despite being the vast majority, had almost no rights. And guess who paid most of the taxes? Yep, them. Meanwhile, the clergy and nobility, the top two estates, were living the high life. They enjoyed tons of privileges, the biggest one being that they were exempt from paying most taxes. Can you imagine the frustration? The resentment was boiling just beneath the surface. People were working their fingers to the bone, only to see their money support a system that kept them at the bottom. As if that social injustice wasn't enough, France was broke. Seriously, the country was facing a massive financial crisis. Decades of expensive wars, including helping out in the American Revolution, had completely drained the royal piggy bank. To make matters worse, bad harvests hit the country hard. This meant there wasn't enough food, and the price of bread, the staple food for most people, shot through the roof. People were literally starving in the streets. While the common folk struggled to find their next meal, the royal court at Versailles was living in a bubble of unimaginable luxury. King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette were famous for their extravagant parties, lavish palaces, and opulent lifestyle. The stark contrast between the starving masses and the splurging monarchy was a slap in the face to the French people. It wasn't just unfair, it was insulting. But it wasn't just about bread and money. A revolution of the mind was also taking place. This was the age of enlightenment, and new radical ideas were spreading like wildfire. Thinkers like John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Voltaire were writing about explosive concepts. They talked about liberty, equality, and the idea that power should come from the people, not a king chosen by God. They argued that every citizen had natural rights and that it was okay to question authority. These ideas spread through coffeehouses and pamphlets, capturing the imagination of the educated middle class within the Third Estate. They started to look at their situation and thought, wait a minute, this isn't right. We deserve better. This potent mix of social inequality, economic hardship, and revolutionary ideas created the perfect storm. France was on the brink of collapse, and the stage was set for one of the most dramatic and important events in all of history. Thanks for watching. If you want to find out what happens next, like how the Bastille was stormed and the chaos that followed, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss it. See you in the next video.